Welcome to Verbal Big Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. Back at you again, man. New show, new dialogue, something that's a little bit different, but, you know, I only do things that's different. Class please, that's cool. But we just jump right on into it. No time for wasting. One, I'd like to thank my sponsors, High Frequency, Performance Wear, also Eden Clothing Co. Everybody that participated in the movie Everyday People, which we are asking for donations due to Hurricane Harvey and the damage that was done to the studio. And I did send proof out there because I know there's a lot of people out there scamming, or there's a lot of people out there that's, using this situation as photo ops so they can say, hey, y'all, look at me, look what I'm doing or whatnot. And then you have some people that's actually out there that's sincere, who really want to help people, who drove hundreds of miles to come to the location and help out, or who actually, you see them working, getting their hands dirty, dealing with some adult issues, not taking it as fun and games, And then I like to thank the anonymous people who give and don't want any recognition or credit. The bottom line is, hey, let's just get the thing right. Who cares about, the accolades? So, you gotta thank them. So we diving right into it, and this will be called Satan's Goal. Story about 25 children who went to a camp or a resort or whatnot for education or higher learning, in a sense. And so one particular day, the teacher, she had to step out, had emergency calls, so she had to leave the facilities, or the sort of like a gymnasium or cafeteria, a gymnasium / cafeteria, where the 25 students were. So she'd been called out. She went up to the front office to see what the emergency was about. So upon her absence, she placed a television in the room to keep the 25 children occupied. TV babysitter, let the television babysitter. But actually, the camp director, we'll call her, she was actually working for a higher power, in a sense. But before she left, she told the 25 students, children, age 7, 8, 9, she told them, do not go into the room that was next door, when the door was closed. So she left. Well, in this program that she left for the children to watch, this show, it was a show about the good of life. It was a show about teaching children how to respect themselves and respect others. They was doing a show, a particular scene where they were came by a bowl of cherries, and the grown-up in the TV show told the children, also who was playing a part in the show, to everyone go and get one, pass by the bowl, everyone gets one cherry. And they did, except for one. He got 2 cherries, went off to himself, sat up under the tree, ate the first cherry, was like, oh, this is delicious. He ate the second cherry, sitting under the tree. Oh, this is delicious. And he said, wow, why would I just want the pleasure of one when I can have the pleasure of two? And who sets the rules to where we can only get one cherry anyway? So that message resonated to one that was in that cafeteria / gymnasium. That message resonated with him, and he was like, yeah, why couldn't they have two? I like cherries. Who sets the rules to tell us what we can have and what we can't have? You know, if I was that guy, I would have got two also. Notice how the other 24, they missed that point, or it didn't resonate with them, or that energy didn't sink in with them, because they basically, followed the rules in a sense. This was the instructions. Everyone passed by the bowl, gets one cherry. 24 did, but it's that one. By one. And so that one took two. Even though the one that took the two didn't understand that he was being monitored, because they wanted to see who was going to take two anyway, because they felt as though someone was going to disobey the rules, and they wanted to see the characteristics or the mindset of what that one would even look like. So, anyway, what happened after that was, after the show was still going on, and the rest and the children was engulfed in watching that show. Their attention was, they were locked in. And so the one that took the two cherries, he was like, yeah, and you know what? I want to go see what's behind that door. You know, it must be something great if the teacher told us we couldn't go inside of that room. And you know, why do she get to set the rules for us? So he goes, opens the door, peeks inside, didn't see anything at first, went all the way in, turned the light on. Gold was everywhere. Gold coins. Little did he know that room and those gold coins belonged to Satan. Satan was just right next door. He wanted to see who was going to come in that room and who would take one of the gold coins. He wanted to see, or he was trying to lure them to be in debt to his services for life. So the guy sees the gold. Now he's nervous at first. He starts shaking. But the temptation of, or the thought of that, the wealth, I'm rich, even at the age of 7, 8, 9, he took one of the gold coins. Walked out of the room, went and sat back down. Now, he's fighting in his head now, within himself. Now he's fighting. He's saying, man, should I go put the gold back? This could be something bad that I've done. Should I keep the gold and, I'll be rich. I can buy things that I don't have. I can help people out. He's trying to justify his actions upon taking the gold. So he says, you know what? Let me recruit others to go in that room and get themselves a gold coin, just like in the movie. Hey, what if everybody just take one gold coin? So he turns to his friend and says, hey, you want to see something cool? His friend says, yeah. both of them walk in the room, he was like, man, look what the camp left us, or look at all this gold that's in this room. His friend said, where did it come from? It was here. I got one. I think you should take one as well. So his friend, he grabs the gold coin. And then they come out the room, out the door, and other children was kind of at the door, seeing what they were doing. They came out both holding their gold coins and was like, hey, it's gold coins in there. So out of the 25, 22 took gold coins from that room, put them in their pockets, kept quiet. Satan was pleased. The camp instructor was pleased in a sense because Satan didn't get all 25. He only got 22 out of the 25. So she felt as though the 3 that he didn't get proves that everyone in society or will not grow up to be corrupt and has not been corrupted. So as the 22 began to get older, they couldn't understand why they had so many different tragedies in their lives, or things wasn't working out, and some had already pawned their gold coin, trading in for cash, but the initial idea that they justified to take the coin didn't plan out right, because their intuition or their internal instincts spoke to them and said that it wasn't right, but temptation. And so one day, one of the 3 who didn't take the gold ran into one who did take the gold. 20 years had passed. So now you have 27, 28, 29-year-olds. And Batica recognized her, and she's like, hey, when you're at that camp when we were younger, aren't you, said her name. She's like, yeah. How's life been treating you? And she said, not too well. It's been actually since camp, man. I've been sick. I've been having different issues. Can't find a job. I'm not making any money. Went through 3 divorces. I mean, it's crazy, but hey, I guess that's everyone's life. And the other young lady said, well, I've been thinking about that, and why'd you go in that room and take that the gold coin? Because the one who didn't take the gold coin, they was upbeat, happy, enjoying life. Had plenty of wealth. And so she was basically like, well, hey, it was tempting, man, gold coin, And she asked her, well, why didn't you go in a room and get a coin? She said, because I was instructed not to when the teacher left the room. She said, oh, I see. And she said, well, have you talked to the guy who went in the room first? She said, no. She said, well, let's track him down. She knew his name. They tracked him down, asked him the same question. Why did you go in the room and retrieve one of those gold coins? And he said, yeah, one of the worst mistakes that I've made. But he said, to be honest, I knew it was wrong, but I didn't want to be the only one feeling this way because it felt bad. So I wanted to get as many people as I could so we can share in that experience. And the girl who didn't take the gold coin, she called him Satan's little helper. And he was like, yeah, but I want to make this right. How do I make this right? She told him, you know, when, as far back as you could remember, before you went to camp, how was your life? He said life was good. Mom was good. Dad was good. You know, we're enjoying life. We're having fun. Plenty of love in the house. Everything was okay. So she said, you remember a period of time when you had love and you loved. It was like, yeah, okay, so what are you getting at? She said, well, since you had that experience, then that means that you know what it is. Then that means that you know how to get back to that life experience or that feeling of, or that essence of love. And he was stunned for a minute because he realized since he retrieved that gold coin, there was no, or the energy or the frequency of love had left the room, left the internal body or being, or that temple of his being. It was gone. So he was like, well, where do I start? Where do I start looking for that lost love? And she told him, well, you know, only you can know the answer to that because it's within you. And she said, and when you find it, will you go back to the others that you helped to deceive to find the love that they once had prior to taking that gold coin? He said, yeah, I will. I'll show him how to. So he's meditating. You know, he's trying to find it. You know, he's praying, doing everything within his power to go back to a place that he can remember where everything was all right before it turned upside down, all wrong. So he's walking down the street one day, and a lady drops a bag of groceries, cans going everywhere. He looked at her, walked past her, and he stopped, turned around, said, hey ma'am, let me help you with your lost belongings, lost groceries. Gathered all the cans and whatnot, picked up the loaf of bread, put it back in the bag for her, handed her the bag, walked off. She said, thank you, young man. He said, you welcome, no problem. Went on his day. And from that point on, one small gleam of light started glistening. Started feeling a little better. Health was better. Eyesight got a little better. And we're talking about that third eye, pineal gland, that vision, that mind vision, that spark of light, that spark of fire kind of lit up. So he's like, okay, cool. So going on about his way and see a homeless person. You know, he didn't know whether the homeless person was faking it or whether he really homeless or whatnot. So he gave him a couple of dollars and he started to regenerate. And then it dawned on him. He said, you know what? Man, just caring about people. It gives you a certain kind of, feeling. And so he went on to, help people, volunteer at different places. Hurricane or whatnot come about, and he wants to tell the story because he's doing the adverse or 180 degrees a difference from where he first was. to get back to a place where he first was. Meaning that the place he was at wouldn't help anyone. Selling drugs. Anything and all that he could to get by, and lost himself. And now he's doing things opposite of his former self or his new self to get back to his original self. Doing everything that he can. So he finally started getting the big picture. And he put himself together again. He became whole again. He remembered his old ways and his family and the love that they taught him. So now he's standing up right now. So he's seeking out to speak to the others. Because himself made 22. So he's seeking out to share what he learned to make himself upright again, a whole. Went to the first one. They were so engulfed in madness that they couldn't hear what he was saying. It didn't resonate. They could not, the fact that they couldn't believe him, it's just that they couldn't make it a reality in their lives due to the circumstances, and they didn't initially seek out to find a solution to that problem. So they rejected him. But he didn't stop there. He went on to the next one. And the next one. By the time he got to the 7th one, he said, I got wind of you and heard that you were going around trying to make right out of the wrong that you did, tricking us, taking a coin. Why should I listen to anything that you have to say now? And he said, well, I don't come to you basically on my own accord. I'm coming to you, speaking to you on what I actually experienced, and I can give you this to help you better your life and seek your forgiveness for what I've done to you in the past. And so the guy said, okay, well, go for it. What do you have to say that's just so important that'll make me, or that can get me out of predicament, the situation that I'm in now? Because, yeah, I am tired. I'm willing to listen. What do you have? He said, love yourself, or love the God within you. You can conquer everything. The guy said, well, how do you do that? And he said, I don't know. You have to find your own way. But I'm telling you, once you find it, it works. And so to make a long story short, out of the evil the guy caused, and out of 22 that he got to get the gold coins, which was Satan's coins, that owed him a debt, only a few was able to release that death grip from Satan and went on to teach others about the power, as they say in the song, the power of love, the power of that high energy frequency, the power of that love rhythm. And they begin to wake up, and over time, more and more begin to wake up throughout the nation. Let's say throughout the earth, the planet. More and more start waking up, which they became in opposition to Satan, true, but their spirit was clean, so they could live with all the controversies and the fight that Satan brought to them, and all the tricks that Satan tried to use to get them to go back to their old ways, or to retrieve the coin once again, because they were embarking on a new life in a new way.